My name is Brandon Triche, and I believe essay is called "Success Comes When Overcoming Obstacles Require Hard Work." Even though people say the key to succeeding is hard work, but that is not always the case. I used to believe that to overcome obstacles you must have success first, but that belief was backwards. I had just transferred schools before the fall semester started, and I had to take a placement test to see what I knew. I waited for my name to be called to go take my placement test. A student walked out of class and came up to me. He told me I was not going to pass the test and I probably was not as smart as them. After all those discouraging words, my name was called next. I walked in the testing area and they gave me a packet with 5 pages. I sat in a desk. I am nervous and I feel a bead of sweat fall from my forehead. I look around at the blue walls covered with paintings. I look down at the test and realize I had a fear of test taking. I find myself meditating before I take it. At that moment, I realized that meditating is my way of calming down and concentrating, so I decided to use it to my advantage. Before each section, I sit and meditate before the teacher told me to start. It took me a while to finish. I waited 2 hours before I found my results. They called my parents and told me to sit in another room till they showed up. What that student said constantly repeated throughout my mind. When I saw my mom walking through the door, she looked at me and looked at the teacher and asked, "What happened?" The head principal stopped her in her tracks and pulled her to the side. I started shaking in my skin. When they finished talking, the head principal asked, "Do you have a phobia of tests?" Before I could answer the teacher, my mom excitingly said, "Well, if you do, this cannot be your test because you scored the highest in the school's history." At that point, I began to think what I believed in was backwards. 5 years later, on graduation day, I learned something new. On the night of graduation, while the graduates and I walked in, I began to look over my life. I realized the odds that I have beaten. I could have been drinking, smoking, in jail, or dead. But a big accomplishment that I was proud of was to be able to graduate. I was just proud to even be in line with the other 7 graduates. When I had to give my speech, I looked at my family and I saw my mom and grandmother crying. Just seeing how happy they were for me pushed me to strive to do my best. When they finally gave the graduates and I our diplomas, it hit me like a car hit a tree. When I work hard to overcome obstacles, success follows. As I look back, I see that I reached success and triumphed over fear and all the odds that were spoken to my life. Now I believe success comes when I work hard to overcome obstacles.